Hi, Daddy. What you doing?
You doing the regatta shuffle right now? Oh, a little scullin'.
Yo, it's this Dice Night and welcome to episode 76 of the Sup'm Show. It's gonna be real special. We got special guests in the house. I'm talking about jumping on it as soon as you see that title and the topic of discussion, which is body count. The man Juan said he has to be here. Who has to be here, Juan? Let him know. You freezing on your intro, bro. You freezing on the intro. But you all know him. He's been around from the jump. What is up, Ruckus man? Say something to the people. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody at the Sup'm Show. It's Ruckus man. I want to thank Brother Dyson Knight. I want to thank Brother JP Knows. I hope everybody else coming on this show because I'm about to say some wild and crazy shit. Good night, Brother Dr. Kent.
Good evening, Brother Ruckus. How's it going?
Shout out to Dr. Kent, world-renowned fitness expert, world-renowned doctor. Did a little movie called Knocking the Conch Style back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, this little something right there. Shout out to Dyson Knight, lead singer for Bahaman. You know what I'm saying? All is God. Representing still 242 to the world.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
We gotta say that the Sup'm Show is an opinion-based show. We give it to you straight, but it's our opinion. Please
no chase off.
Go to Google, do your thing, make sure you understand what's happening in your own life, make your own decisions, make your own choices. All right.
Now, Brother Dyson, before we get started, I need to just say something. I said this to Kent, and I said this to Brother JP, and I need to say it to you, sir.
Okay.
I follow the show. I'm a very big fan of the show, right?
Feeling you.
The last couple of shows y'all did, y'all was explaining some behaviors, right?
All right.
And y'all linked it to the Black community. I just wanted to just point out to y'all that y'all was not talking about Black people. There's a humongous difference between Black people and niggas. Y'all was explaining niggas, not Black culture.
Once again, back is the incredible. I am here.
Oh, Brother JP in the building. Oh, shit. 7 Signs in the building.
Let's pause for the cause. Let's get back to it. There you go.
I see Sister Ans is here. Sister Ans, how is the campaign coming?
Who am I? Oh, Ruckus. The campaign is coming.
How's it? Because I was ready to vote for you. You started that no drinking bullshit. No.
What?
Yes, no. All that foolishness you was talking about, no wine and this and that. No, I ain't gonna wait. We're not voting for you. You gotta retract that statement.
You can do it. That's your vessel. You could do what you want with it.
All right, I didn't tell you. You own God. But Dyson, sorry, but let's move on.
All right, please, thank you. All right, so we got some.
And y'all actually thought I was the troublesome one. I'm the good one on the show today.
I don't see the point of stating the obvious. No one here is
God. Ruckus for a reason.
Wow. Y'all are not gonna talk about my brother JP like that. You're not gonna do it, goddammit.
We already
Cheers, my good brother.
We already have to split this topic into 2 parts, 2 episodes. We already spent an hour and some on it. I can't find the first episode that we did, but let's just knock the things that I'm sure we discussed. We discussed body counts being bad because of health reasons. We even touched on spiritual reasons why a high body count may not.
Let's touch on mental reasons today. Let's touch on mental reasons.
Mental reasons, all right.
How about that?
It was JP's choice to jump back on this topic, so we'll let you lead off, JP.
Remind me of the topic today.
Body count, Hans. Body count. The topic name is body count. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you when I say body count? Hans?
What?
When I say body count, does body count matter in a relationship? What's the first thing come to your mind?
How many partners this person has had previously?
And from a woman's perspective, saying that you're the only female on the show, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that matters?
And
Body
what
count, that
we're
is.
referring to
Does
mental
body count
reasons?
matter?
No, I'm asking you when it comes to a female, not saying you're that type, but I'm saying when it comes to a female's opinion, do you think entering a new relationship or being in an old relationship, just relationship overall, do you think body count matters from a female's perspective? Well, you could drop pins in here, boy.
Man, speak your mind,
Do,
Hans.
I
do,
mean,
do,
okay.
do, do,
Speak your
do,
mind.
I
Speak your
don't.
do,
mind.
I don't think
do,
it.
do,
Well,
do,
it
do,
matters, and
do.
then it doesn't.
Why it don't matter? I want to hear both ways. Go ahead.
I think it matters if we're looking at Let me see. Socially acceptable um thing. Like if we're looking at
A social
what
construct.
society thinks
Yeah.
about body counts and whatnot, it matters.
Right.
But
Okay.
when it comes to someone choosing to do what they want to do with their body, it doesn't
Right.
matter.
But someone doing something what they want to do with their body, that's their
Yes.
own personal situation. I said within a relationship. Let's not forget that part.
What do you mean within a relationship?
Okay, for instance,
Hmm.
if I'm a young, dashing, whoring young man,
Yes. Uh-huh.
okay, and I get involved with a female, and she knows that I'm a whoring, dashing young man, do you
Mhm.
think that matters in her mind as much as if I know she was a dashing young whore?
Should it matter?
Should it matter?
Should it matter? Yes, it should matter.
Why?
Because she need to go get tested, among other
No, no, no,
things.
no, no. We're not talking about from STD standpoint of things. We're
We
talking
already we
relationship.
throw that
We
one
know
out.
that
We throw out
both
Well,
need to
I
get
don't. Well,
tested.
no. Well, if you're just talking about relationship, you don't know about STDs and none. I don't think it should matter. They both come
Good.
with more experience.
So, from a female's perspective, if she's out in these streets, she has more experience. Is that what you're saying?
It could. I like. I'm on two sides of the fence here because I'm on.
And
I'm
ladies
on
and
two
gentlemen, the
sides.
campaign has started
Oh,
today. She
let
is
me just say
running
this.
for her
I'm on
life.
two and I said I'm on two sides because I know I have my own way of doing
Yeah.
things, and then I
hmm
know the reality of what females do today. And I
mm
agree and I disagree. Is I feel like as long as they're being safe, they could do what they want to do with their bodies.
We're not anyway. You're getting the two topics confused. We're
I
not
mean,
talking about what they want to
you
do.
talking about a relationship. I'm saying if two people come from being whores and decide not to be whores anymore,
Okay,
now they want to come together. That's their
okay,
prerogative.
okay. Let me put it in this perspective right here, and I don't know if you guys agree. I think it's more accepted, right? If a female knows that a guy has been with multiple women, she sees it as a turn on. If a guy knows that a female's been with multiple men, we see it as a turn off.
I don't
Can we
think
agree on
women
that?
see that as a turn on. Y'all may agree as
Absolutely,
men,
yes.
but
Absolutely, let
no.
me see it's a turn on.
That's your opinion. That's your
Ants.
opinion. You
You
as
know
a
why I
woman?
can say it's turn
You
on?
as a
You know
woman?
why I say it's turn on?
Are
You
you
know
a
why I say it's turn
woman?
on? Watch this. You women will know a man been with multiple women, have multiple baby mamas, and still lay down with a man. Right or wrong? Not saying you. We ain't talking about you. We say the majority, not you. Take yourself out of the
I
equation.
still so the point that I disagree with is that it's a turn on. I don't think it's a turn on to women that a
So why
man
you
has
laying
been with
down
Okay,
with
more
that
so, so,
man
women.
so,
then?
so okay, so let me ask this. Let me ask this question, Sister Ans. Are
Go
you
ahead.
familiar with the term demon dick?
No.
No. Let me break
No.
down what demon dick is, or in the
Okay.
context that I've heard
Break
it.
it down for me. Break it down for me, Ruckus.
We get in the club somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
one gal talking to the next gal, and the next nigga walk past, and he already got 7 children for 9 different women. And the gal turn around and say, "Hey, you see that nigga over there? He got that demon dick." You know what the next girl is turning around and say? She don't say, "Oh, I better leave that nigga alone because I don't want none of that demon dick." No, she go right behind that nigga and she
I
going to
mean,
give him some crabbing
but
too.
just like in the beginning when you said the things we were referring to niggas and not black people. What you're
Mm-hmm.
referring to isn't just women, or like that's not how the standard woman is gonna react to a whore.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so we,
Talk again,
that too
Facade.
is
You're quiet.
Like,
culture.
I mean, no woman of caliber that I know of is gonna see that scenario that you just described and gonna be like, "Oh my god, I want that demon dick." Ew.
Yeah. So let's not make this Only because Anna's
This
the
used to
only
be a family
female
show.
on the panel.
I'm pretty sure
Just
this was a
because
family
Because
show.
I'm like, I could see two sides. So
just
But
because Ann
I
is the
want to
only
say
female
Ans
on
is
the panel,
correct as
this is
well.
not jump on Ann's day.
No,
We're
but
not just gonna
Ans is
put her
correct
in
as
the hot
well
seat this
because
whole
you
show.
know Ans is correct as well because you got some dudes out there. They learn the girl bad, and it's like, oh, I want to see how bad she is, and then when they find
True.
themselves in front of the magistrate in court number 9, they get mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, yeah,
They consider
yeah.
them easy targets when they just want to get off. So here, okay. So let me add some guidance to the show because y'all seem to be all over the place. I had some questions that I wanted to ask and run through it very quickly. If any of them spark your attention, let's start there.
All right.
What constitutes a high body count? What is that number? And is that number different from men than it is to women? Is it the same for all sexes? Are human beings meant to be monogamous or polygamous? I'm talking naturally here. Is the majority of the world monogamous? Is the
come
majority
on,
of the world
Dyson, one by
monogamous?
one.
You all know how
Which
this boy go
you
when he
already
start with the
excited?
questions. You
No,
all know
no.
I
this.
am
I just
excited. I'm
saying,
excited about
jump.
this.
But you jump. If I say something that
First one.
excites you, you want me to
Start at the
finish,
top.
or you just want to start with on what excites you?
I think a high body count is anything greater than 10.
For a man or a woman?
Yes.
Any
Right.
anyone else
That's a
got anything to
concise
say?
answer. Okay.
Anyone else got anything to say about what the number should be in terms of
I won't say what
body
it should
count?
be.
I
What
think.
is high?
Go ahead.
Mm,
No, no, Ruckus got it. Ruckus got it. Ruckus got it.
Yeah.
okay.
What is
As
high
far
body
as
count? Just give me a number.
a number,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 15.
15 for man or woman.
Man or woman.
Man or woman,
Okay.
15. All right, cool. One.
For a
Stevie
woman,
Flash. Hush.
Man or woman.
Doc.
Listen to him.
Doc.
I,
'Cause he
I
already
like the look on
He
Ken's
already
face because Ken is like, y'all
He
niggas
umming.
can't be serious.
He
no,
umming.
No,
the
No,
because
council is Grace
that's good.
Scully about to talk right now.
That's a simple question. Give me a number. What is a high body count? Man say over
man.
10. Rocket say over 15.
For
15
me,
and
it
up.
depends. For me, it depends on your age. If you're under
On
21, or under 25, I think 5 to 10, and once you start going over 5, you're approaching that level. If you're
over
over
5,
25 or over
man or
30,
woman.
man or woman. If you're over 30, I think 15 is more acceptable if you're over 30, 35, because you live life. You've been life, you've been some places, things ain't work out. Maybe not against your trying. So I think it depends on the age a bit.
Okay, and over 35, just for the sake of it. I know.
Over 35, I say 15 is reasonable.
15 is reasonable. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hands
So
up,
we
everybody
could
who been
do
to college.
that's one a year from you start at 20. Done.
One a year. One a year
One a
ain't
year
bad.
from you start at 20. I'll give you one. High body.
One a year is pretty darn good.
high
For
body. What is a high body count?
high body count for a woman at any age or any stage of your life, over 5.
Black.
All right.
And for a man.
For
And for a man.
hold on. For a man at
Let
any
me hear
stage of
this.
his
Let
life.
me hear this.
Now,
OG
Hans, you had the floor all last week because
Let me hear this.
I couldn't
OG
bless y'all. I couldn't
whore.
bless y'all with my glorious glory.
Let me
I'm
hear
here
this.
now.
OG whore. Let me hear this.
For a man, I think a high body count at any age
Oh shoot, I'm missing our comments.
should be
Go
like
ahead.
over 25.
A high body count is over 25.
For a man,
I
for a
see. I
man,
tell
for a
you,
man.
listen to this
man.
old whore.
At any age.
Then I ain't gonna call no names.
Thank
but we
you,
got some
K-Woods.
hoes in this house. Move on.
Okay. All right. So we determined that. So only one feels as though the number is different for a man than it is for a
Solomon
woman.
was a king, though. Okay, man. You can't. Listen. You can't pick out extraordinary people and try to bring that. Solomon was a king. That's a given. Concubines was the thing back then, so that's a given.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
Straight up.
actually,
Next.
it's good to be the king.
the queen chose the concubines.
There you go. Let them know Kent Bazaar from the
So-
castle of Grayskull.
So it's a whole different
That's
culture.
right.
The culture is completely different.
That's right.
Exactly. So
All
we can't use Solomon. Get off my boy King Solomon.
Are human beings meant to be monogamous
It's my boy.
or polygamous?
That's a rough one, bro.
What is our natural order?
Mm,
Women are
I
polygamous.
mm,
gotta say I don't. I gotta say I don't know.
Women
I
are
Why?
don't know either.
polygamous.
'Cause I feel
I'll,
like it's
I'll,
blurred lines.
let me start since I on the screen. I gotta say, having been on both sides of the fence, like the most, we're talking
polygamous
about,
and anonymous.
yeah, the most relationships I've ever
Okay,
tried
we
to have
learned
as
something
a
new
man.
about talking today.
Hold on. Well, I don't. Well, I guess if it's in true polygamy,
Continue on.
in true
Continue on.
polygamy, everybody knows what's going on,
Right,
right?
that's true
Mm,
polygamy. Yes.
Right.
So that's not. It's probably not real polygamy,
Yeah.
but
He's just
but
drifting.
just being one of them 25 count like one say.
Jeez.
Uh,
And that's a low
uh,
count for me.
trying to
I tell
manage,
you, OG whore.
trying to
That's okay.
manage,
Would
trying to
y'all
manage
let
a
Ken
bunch of
speak?
Leader
relationships
of the
at
nasty
once.
five plus one.
Please let the doctor speak. Let me mute their mic. I can mute their mic too. Go ahead. Talk. I'm muting all
As
the
I was
African mic.
as I was saying, trying to manage just more than one relationship is extremely complicated, extremely difficult, and extremely stressful. So if we were meant to be that way, it doesn't always feel that way. Maybe the environment is different. I've never been in an environment where everybody agrees that we're all together. So I've never been in that environment. I've been married to one woman and I'm comfortable. So I don't know. But
That's
the answer is I don't. I really don't know. I really
you
don't.
really don't know.
May,
Okay, well
may I
then,
ask a question?
yes, please.
So,
Do people understand? Okay, like y'all can hear me, y'all can see me.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Yes.
Okay, do people understand the terms that they're using? Because some people say polygamy when they actually mean polygyny.
Ah,
What
Educate them, brother.
Okay,
why would they mean polygamy and say polygamy? Talk to us.
polygamy, polygamy, most people think is one man and multiple wives. That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
Hmm.
It could be both
You
ways.
have a relationship with multiple partners. So a woman can have multiple husbands. That's
Yes.
still polygamy.
Mhm.
If
They
you're
Hmm.
only
they
exclusively
actually
talking
call it
about one man and multiple wives, that's polygyny.
Yep. Yep.
So a lot of times people say polygamy when they mean polygyny.
Polygamy.
ah.
When I think polygamy, though, I think either way.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think either way.
Mhm.
All right.
Interesting.
So are we meant to be or
I,
not?
meant to
Well, I
be?
think it's. I think it's. I think
polyandry.
it's.
They have
It's
names for
better
all of it.
just one.
Mm.
Just
Ah, man.
just
Hey, Dyson Knight, need to mute your own mic, man.
no, I'm just saying. He said polygamy actually. I mean, the point is exact, but polygamy
Mm.
is man with many wives, and
Hmm.
polyandry is women
Polyandry.
with more than one husband.
Right.
Hmm.
And
So
you're
they
polyamorous as well.
Yep.
right. So
Yes.
just to get that part out. But can we move on? Anyone else had anything else to say about whether or not human beings should be polygamous,
I think. I think human
polyandrous?
beings. I think human beings should be monogamous. I think bringing in multiple parties just makes things complicated and more of a headache.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Can I
Well,
get
well,
my
that's
take on it, Dyson?
yeah,
Even
man. That's
even
like
when everybody agrees.
this your moment.
I, I, I,
Mm.
I gotta agree with Ants, right? But I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think either or were designed to be monogamous. Hold on,
Mm.
before you all jump all on me and shit. But the wise thing to be is monogamous. Let me put it like that.
Mm.
Because once
Mhm.
things start to get all crazy and you take on this energy from this one and this energy from that one and demon dick and juicy crabby or whatever you all may call it, there
Mm.
comes to issues and problems. But I don't
Yeah.
think a man or a woman is designed to be monogamous. I think that both sexes chooses to be monogamous, so we don't have to deal with a bunch of issues that comes along with dating multiple people. Let me put it like that.
It's truly good. It's discipline. Disciplined
Mm-hmm.
people are able to be
Mm-hmm.
monogamous.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
here's the thing.
there's also the spiritual component to it, because
Yep.
when you are tethering to someone, you know what I'm saying. That's sometimes that connection even passes on this particular plane. So, do
Absolutely.
you really want to have multiple connections to multiple people
Mm-hmm.
on this plane and the one thereafter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
So,
deep.
And you all
Michael,
thought Ruckus was all about Ruckus. He dropping some knowledge on y'all asses, man. Come on.
no man,
yeah,
Ruckus
I
is
don't
only
just I
Ruckus.
don't just jump in the comments and say wild shit.
No, Ruckus is just our crazy. He's a very intelligent young man. But he just is our crazy. But if I could come from the science side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, all life is designed to procreate. That's our number one function,
Purpose. Yes.
is to
Purpose.
Mm,
reproduce and procreate. That really has
mm,
nothing to do with marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with a relationship. Those are human created functions.
Yes.
Yep.
So
mm,
at the raw science of it, having sex to procreate has nothing to do with a relationship and being married. To be quite
Yep.
honest,
mm,
Yep.
we just
mm,
added that component to it because it was useful
Mm-hmm.
for humans. Other
Yep.
animals
Right.
don't do that. They juice and move on, right?
mm,
Well, some
So
some animals
yeah,
are
yeah.
monogamous.
Most of the middle and lower animals juice and move on, right?
mm,
Some of the higher animals they have one partner, especially some of
mm,
the elite hunter birds and those guys. They have one
mm.
partner for
Yeah.
life, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guarantee we may not know the reason, but I guarantee that's because it makes sense and not
Mm.
because they're in love, right?
Right.
It ain't because they're in love. It's because it makes sense. So in our case, and in our society right now, I think it makes sense
Yep.
to have more sense to have one partner. Imagine you got one man, seven wives, and you got to divorce one. Like, just think about that for a second. How does that work? How does it? How do things split? Does she
I
get a
mean,
tenth of everybody's stuff? Like, how does that
no,
work?
Mm.
no,
So I don't.
you just have six people to help her pack.
There you go.
Wow.
Bang. Dyson night show. Dyson. 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 Seven people. Seven people help a out. Be on your way 7 times that way.
Cheers.
Shares on that
That's a
one.
7-way CYC party.
That's it. Ahoy, mate.
So one black woman is enough for me, but seven in the house at once? Nah, I'm okay.
In hindsight, I must definitely say it. Having being monogamous is definitely the smarter way to go. So
Yeah.
let's move. The Bible teaches that. The Bible is the book of wisdom. I mean, what all books they allow to remain in the Bible for however long they allow it to remain there. It will
Right.
tell you things of wisdom. But so let's be real, a real talk right now.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about social construct. We talk about how society feels about people with high body count.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna ask the question, but it's obvious. Do we feel the same way about a man with a high body count as we do about a woman with a high body count?
No.
And why?
Who?
Society.
So we know that women get the crappy end of the stick when it comes
Yes.
to if she
Crabby
has a
end
high
or
body count.
crappy end? Which one?
When it when
Crabby
it
end
when it
or
when it
crappy
comes to
end?
doing whatever they choose
All,
with their
all of the
body.
above, brother JP.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
above. Gotcha.
All of the
absolutely.
above.
All of the above. And based on that, the question is now why do we do that to women? Where did that come from? Where did that energy come from? I was gonna ask the question, is it
A male superiority.
a
No.
Nonsense.
tool to
No.
Absolutely.
to shame?
Way
No.
back when, from the
No.
Nonsense.
beginning of
Is it
time.
No.
From the
No.
beginning of
No.
time.
No.
Nonsense.
See, this how you get pounced on.
No.
Nonsense.
But too bad. From I ain't scared. I ain't never scared.
Let me
Nonsense.
let me
Ain't
let
no
me
From
matter
let
the
me,
being
let me
there.
beginning
I don't
of
want
hold
to.
on
Ain't no
time,
matter being scared.
men
before you
have
pounce?
felt that they should be
Speak
able
your
to.
piece.
I
Hold on.
just
yeah.
feel like from centuries ago, the
Mm-hmm.
way things were designed was that men felt like they could tell women what to do. Period.
Mm.
And we could.
Period. I even read
And we could.
something where
And we
um
could. Go ahead.
and where this guy was talking about spanking his wife because she didn't behave or something,
With
as
a
if he was talking
paddle,
about a child.
you
She
naughty
need to
girl.
behave, man. She need to behave. Avoid them spankings.
So
So that's where I feel like
Okay,
that came from.
spanking has two connotations, but let's move on.
Listen, you know why it's like that? Let me explain something. I don't know if y'all get this. Maybe it's just me to think this way. So, if I, as a man, big JP, lay down with 100 women and they get pregnant, is that baby mine?
Say it again.
I'm asking y'all a question. If I lay down, okay, if I lay down with 20 women and I nut in every last one of them, and they only dealing with me, is all the babies mine from all 20
yes,
of those women?
Yes.
yes,
Yes?
I
Okay.
believe so.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now, if that woman lays down with 20 men and they all nutting her,
Hmm.
who the baby belong to?
None. All she got to do is take a plan B the next day.
Maury,
We're not talking about
Maury,
plan B.
Maury,
We're not
Maury.
talking about plan B. So you going to red extreme. We talking if a woman lays down with
Uh
20
huh.
different men
And she's
in,
not
in
ovulating. She just won't be pregnant.
ants, even if she ovulating, even if she's not ovulating, if she happens to get pregnant,
She
who is the
won't
baby
then.
for?
But she
Who
won't
is
if
I
the
she's
baby?
not ovulating.
Hey,
I think the baby is for the person who have the most money.
no,
That's who the baby daddy is.
so this is
That's what I think.
why. So this is why society views things the way they view it. A
So
man can
pause
lay
though.
down.
Pause though. So
What?
I guess the problem only arises if she's sleeping with multiple people at the same time. So it's okay for her to have a new partner every other month or every other
Mhm,
year, correct?
mhm. But
By
I'm
your
not even asking if
analogy.
it's okay or not. It's just it's a question. You Ans, you know what you're doing right now? Here's what you're doing. You're
What?
moving the goalposts on every question,
No, I'm not.
or you're bringing up
No,
the
I'm not.
rare
By what you
extremities of
just
what can
said,
happen.
the issue that you think your reason that society feels the way that they do is
Answer my
because if a
question.
woman lies with multiple penises at the same
Yeah.
time, she
Uh
would
huh.
know who her baby daddy is.
So answer that question. Would she know?
DNA
Hey,
test.
Ruckus.
Oh my God. Some of what would she know? Yes
It's
or
not
no?
avoiding. It's not avoiding.
Holy crap, bro. You all see this? They can never answer. Would she, if I lay down with
I
20
here's
girls,
the thing. Here's
they
the
know
thing.
who the baby's for.
I answered the question. I just did not answer the question the way you would like me to answer the
Okay,
question.
answer it again. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
No, you heard me. Your ears work.
Hey Robert, go ahead, doctor. Hey Robert. I can mute the mic. Go
Look, look,
ahead.
Master Dyson. We addressed this actually in part one. All right, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna say this again. I thought we answered this clearly in part one. It is a misconception. It is an absolute misconception that whatever policies that certain cultures put in place, as far as the man being the head of the home, were to control the woman. That's really
Thank
not
you.
what it's about. That was the last thing on this guy's mind. What was on this
Thank you.
guy's mind was protecting their family,
And
protecting their
providing.
town, their city, their country. That's what was on this guy's mind.
That may be how
Business.
it started, but
So,
that's
so
not
that's
where it
nothing.
led.
No, no. I'm telling you, there's nowhere documented anywhere in history that men were trying to control women. Nowhere is it
But so
documented.
why would men who wrote history
So,
document what they're doing? That don't
so
even
it's
make no
all,
sense.
this is all
Because you
just,
were doing things that's
That
better than
don't
what
even
y'all were
make
doing
no
back then.
sense. They
it's
wrote
all
the
just
history,
feminist.
but
Hold
you're
on,
gonna write
hold
Okay,
on.
something else looking bad.
could I ask a question?
That's
Yes.
brilliant.
Okay. Is it safe to say that all of us on this live respect what the Bible has to say? Is it safe to say that?
Yeah,
Only
Depends.
in,
it's
only certain
acceptable.
things. Only certain things, Ruckus. Because I
Yeah,
know where you're
Only
going.
depends.
certain things.
Yeah.
I know where you're going.
Okay,
So only certain
okay,
things.
okay, okay,
But go ahead,
okay,
go
okay,
there, go
okay.
there.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe one of the curses that God put on humans was directed specifically at the female that says, your desire will be for your husband and he will rule over or dominate you.
And here's what I say to that.
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
And
hold
men
on,
Take
hold
off,
on, hold
man.
on,
Take
translate
credits
hold
and pull
the
on,
out them
hold
Bible.
guns
on,
and
hold
bust
on,
hands.
hold on,
Chill.
hold on,
Jeez.
hold on,
Infinite answers.
hold on. Now, if God said that,
If men
right?
wrote that, go ahead.
Wow, men wrote that. Men
Men
wrote that.
translated the
So
Bible. Men
tell us, Sister Ernst,
translated the Bible. And
Men,
I'm
Really?
happy that Dr. Kent said that bits and pieces, because I
Yes, man.
truly believe
You
that
said it,
there
Ken.
were parts of the Bible that were
Yes,
tweaked
for
yeah, but
intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Ants,
Mm-hmm.
Period.
ants.
Mm-hmm. So the part that also says, and the man is to
Hold on.
love, and the man is to love his wife as his own, as he loves himself. That was tweaked to them.
Who knows?
Because
It could have
if we
been.
can cherry pick things now, then
But that's
I
obviously
my
what we
heard
can
point.
start
this.
doing
The
is
point
taking
I'm
things that
making
only
is,
apply to one another.
but I'm not cherry picking. I'm not
Yeah,
cherry picking. I
and you
said,
I
absolutely
heard,
cherry
maybe
picking.
it was.
I
Maybe
heard
it
And you
this.
wasn't.
absolutely cherry
I
picking. That's
heard this in a
absolute cherry
James
picking.
I
Catlin.
don't think
I
so.
heard this in a James
That's
Catlin
direct
play.
cherry picking.
I don't think so.
Because
it's a nice show. He trying to
Because
control it,
at
but
no point in
James
this conversation have
James
I
Catlin,
used any reference
James
from the
Catlin
Bible.
said, Brother Dyson.
in his
In no
play,
point.
he says that man who are closer to God tells God what to tell them to write. So man tells God what to tell man to write. So you have to understand that. We was talking to God first, according to the Bible. So that's our
Right.
boy. That's
Right. That
our
who
boy.
somewhat translated.
And
Correct.
to
We tell
suggest
him,
otherwise,
So,
actually
so
flies in the face of
I,
God,
I
because
tell you what.
I'm quite sure that the scripture in 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16 says, not
uh-oh.
peace, not some, not most. All scripture is inspired of God and beneficial for teaching and reproving. So
And
we
say
can
that
sit there and
again.
talk
Say that
about what
again.
man
All
wrote and
scriptures
what
are
man
what?
didn't write. Hmm?
Inspired.
let's move on.
Inspired.
Yeah.
So
And if the
if the man
inspiration
wrote
was
it,
incorrect, we went back to God and tell him, hey, you have to change this. And then he tell us that it is changed. And then we tell y'all what to do. We tell everybody else what to do. That's how
Dyson,
man
I
do.
mean,
Dyson, if I may, let's move
That's a
away. Let's
joke.
move
James
away.
Catlin is a comedic playwright, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely a joke.
This feels like a
I can
rabbit
still vote
hole.
for you, Hans. I can still vote for you. Don't worry about that. I still vote for you.
Go
Dyson,
ahead, Doc.
let's move away. My point actually initially a couple minutes ago wasn't about the Bible. So I
Yeah,
don't like
let's
to
move
use the
away. Let's
Bible
move away from the Bible.
because everybody has their own interpretation and
Yeah.
people do cherry pick parts of the Bible for their own purposes. So that's the problem I have with the Bible. Some parts are good, sometimes some parts are bad. Either you accept it, is either you accept it or you don't accept it, right? Well,
Yes.
but that's a whole other. I wasn't even going to talk about that. What I was
Mm.
talking about when I was talking about history was that the woman throughout history has always been revered, has always been
Mm-hmm.
held up, has always
Mm-hmm.
been protected, always, always, and that is evident throughout history. The
Mm-hmm.
vessel that the woman carries
Yes.
has been worshipped by some societies.
Yes.
You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Agreed.
Yep.
So the problem. So what I'm saying is, it was the woman's body is so sacred that in some
Yes.
cultures, and I said this in the last show, the
Mhm.
woman's body is so sacred that in some cultures, and maybe even still today, if you accidentally saw a woman naked, accidentally saw her, let's say you walk down to the river and she's bathing, and you accidentally saw her naked, you have to marry her. You have to, because she would be dishonored, and you cannot allow her to be dishonored. So you have to marry her.
I
You
feel
understand what I'm
sadness for
saying?
that woman.
There was no equivalent to that type of rule anywhere for men anywhere in history. So
So
Mm-hmm.
so when we talk about men trying to control women, that's garbage ass. That is never existed. That is nothing but a bunch of feminist rhetoric, and it doesn't
And
exist.
I'm not a feminist, but what you're
What
saying
I'm
I
saying is,
disagree
I'm
with.
not saying that they're not men.
So go ahead. Let me hear this. Let me
I'm
see
not
if you
saying that
can.
they're not men who are not either jealous or small-minded men who feel whatever way about women, but real men know the
Thank you.
value of women, and real men have always lifted up women and
Mm-hmm.
done what they're supposed to do for their woman.
Mm-hmm.
Facts from the beginning of time. It
Mm-hmm.
has always been that way. It has never
Mm-hmm.
changed. So I
Mm-hmm.
get offended when I hear women telling me that I'm part of some society thing to try to dominate
Well,
them, and I'm
I'm not
some
saying that
patriarchy.
you're a part
I
of it,
hate that.
but what
I hate
I'm
that.
saying is, I feel like something that started out to be exactly what you
How do you
described
have to be the bad guy on this show?
morphed into control.
yeah.
Control
And I
how?
and I would agree. No,
What
I
I
is
would
it
mean,
that
like
we're
agree.
even
controlling?
like with
What
certain
is it that
laws
we're
and stuff,
controlling?
even like
Ants,
Roe
What
versus
is
ants,
it that
Wade.
men?
ants.
What
Can
is
I
it
ask you
that
something?
men are controlling over women? What is it
Can
that
I
men
ask you
are
something,
controlling?
ants? No, can I ask something, ants? In all seriousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the last question y'all get to ask
Okay.
Ants.
in all seriousness. No, 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 I'm asking. Hey, she's the one that's saying trying to control. So I want to ask her a
And
question.
I said
Okay,
what? What did I
you're the
say?
one that's saying you feel men try to control certain women. So I just want to ask you a question based on that.
Some
Um,
men do try. That
okay.
that's the yes. Go ahead.
Would you agree? Would you agree or disagree? Right
Hmm.
now, this doesn't go for all men. Would you
Right.
agree or disagree that when you find or you with a quality, high quality man that do what he's supposed to do as far as but right by his family, is right by providing and protecting, do you
Yes.
find within yourself by following that man's lead, your life is a little bit easier?
Absolutely. I mean, that's
Okay,
my current world.
hold on, hold on,
Uh
hold on.
huh.
So is he controlling you?
No,
Why? Why don't you consider that controlling?
I don't, because I
But
don't. I don't consider
why?
controlling.
I
He
don't.
doesn't. He
Why?
doesn't tell me. He doesn't tell me what to do.
But honest, he is actually telling you what to do, just not in the word of "I'm telling you what to do." See, it's all in the wording. It's all in the wording for y'all here. It's all in the wording. I can
Yes.
tell you what to
Uh
do
huh.
without even saying what to do.
There's a suggestion, and then there's a command.
No, Ants, I can
Yes, it
command you what to
is.
do without
Yes, it
absolutely
is.
telling you. I
And there's still,
command you
and then
to
there's
do X,
also an
Y, and Z.
option to
That's
choose
another
to
show.
follow or not. There's
That's
always a
another show.
choice.
That's another
Okay,
show. That's
okay.
another
You
show.
say so.
That's another show. Let's stick it
Monogamy.
on the body, yeah, body count. And my point in that I was making is simply that I feel as though society is harder on women when it comes to
They are.
um the body count, because the first thing I look back at the Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef, and they were talking about well, Nicki decided because she was upset with Megan, she wanted to diss her, and in the diss track, she said something about her having the body count. She spoke about
Hmm.
the body count. So if you have women that will go after other women and use their body count as a diss
Yeah.
or as a way to
To
try
shame
and
them.
shame them, then that kind
Hmm.
of reiterates the fact that women are at a disadvantage socially
But
for having a high
again,
body count.
again, Dyson, this is what I'm saying. A woman with a low body count is very valuable.
Sorry, K Mac. I don't want no partners, but go ahead. I'll
A,
explain
a
that later.
woman, a
I ain't with the
woman, a
partnership.
woman. Yeah, a woman with a high body count has a lower value than a woman with a low body count. And I thought maybe I could explain that better. But like I
No, I
said,
understand that. I
woman
understand
the
that.
woman's body is sacred. The woman's body is sacred.
Yeah,
You
but I'm
don't care
moving
about the
past
man's
that.
body.
It
Men
is
are
all a
disposable.
mind thing.
Men are disposable. And men have always been disposable. We've always been treated as disposable. The
We're
woman's
ants.
body is sacred. Women and children must be protected at all costs.
Yep.
Always.
We ain't
It's
ants.
always been
Yes.
that way.
Yes. Yes.
It has always been that way. It's never changed in history. So
Mhm.
it's always been that way. I don't
Here,
understand the
here's
confusion.
no.
So
Here's
when you
where
have a high body
I
count,
don't think there is a confusion. I think you have an opinion, and we have opinions.
no. I only
no, I don't
wanted
think
to
I'm
listen,
not making
listen,
an opinion.
listen.
I'm stating history. I'm not
I
making an opinion.
only,
And it's
I
still, I
only,
mean,
History
I
is not an
want.
opinion.
and
History is what
even those
happened.
people have had opinions.
No, history is what happened. History is not an opinion.
Yes.
History is what
Okay.
happened.
All right. Carry
Yes,
on.
president, vice president, captain, and co-captain, both working
Thank
together
you.
to run the country, steer a ship, but one has
Thank
to
you.
be
Thank
subservient
you,
to
K Woods.
majority. Other
That's my point.
principle applies.
And it
Man
goes
has
And
back to
also
what
even
I said
still,
earlier, Dyson.
the president and the vice
Back to
president
body
have a
count, though.
Hey,
partnership.
Dyson, it goes
Back to
back
And
to
what
body
is it?
earlier.
count, though.
It
No,
goes
he.
back to what I said earlier when it comes down to the whole she. I don't want. It's not about controlling your wife or controlling your significant other. We are not partners. You want to know why? This is me.
The
I
show
speak.
ain't
We are
about
not
that.
partners. You know why we're not partners? Because we are not equal. We are not equal. This is not 50-50.
That's a whole nother show. We could do that in a whole nother show.
Well,
This
But
ain't
we
okay,
may.
50-50 partners, bro.
I wanna ask this. When it comes to the whole body count part, my question is, if we're being real with all of ourselves, which one do we appreciate more? I'm sure I've been in situations where I've been with a girl, walking to somewhere, and I see the looks, and sometimes you hear the whispers.
Yeah. Now
That's
that's
not a good
ridiculous.
feeling.
That's
That's
not.
That is
okay though,
not a good
Ruckus.
feeling.
That's
I
our
agree.
body. That's our body, Ruckus. That's okay.
And
She can do that.
Ruckus, to piggyback off of what you just said, that's what I was meaning when Dr. Kent just now was saying that, the value of a woman based on her body count. And I don't even know if he heard me, but I said it's all a mind thing.
Mhm.
It is literally a mind thing, because if you had no way of knowing this woman's body count and she told you she had none or one, and that's below your number, and you're good with that, and you are not in a place where there are whispers, you are not in a place where there are rumors, you would be content with, oh, she just has the one body count. That's a mind thing.
Hans, can I ask you a question, please?
Go for
Wait
it.
I'm
till I
not
know more
entirely
questions for
sure it's a
Hans.
No,
mind
no, no,
thing,
no,
but
no. Serious question. Serious question. Okay. If you have a family member,
Yes.
cousin, or close friend or whatever, right, that you personally know
Hmm.
is a straight up whore. You
Yes.
notice how she gets down now. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Now, this has nothing to do with trusting your significant other or whatever, whatever. Do you feel comfortable with your husband or boyfriend, whoever, around this chick when you're not around?
Wait, what?
Be honest, man. You want me to
Wait,
ask it
say it
again?
again. Yeah,
Okay.
say it again.
If you have a cousin, a close friend, or whatever, and you know this particular person, this girl, is a complete whore on these streets, she give it up faster than giving it up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Are you comfortable? Now, we ain't saying, yeah, I just trust him, so I'm comfortable. That's not what I'm talking
No,
about. Are you
comfortable. Don't add
comfortable?
nothing to it. Am I
Okay,
comfortable? Yes, I am.
come on,
Yes,
all
I
that.
am.
No, you're
Would
not.
they have a
No, you're
need
no,
to
you're
be
not.
there? You don't have to believe it. You ask my question. You ask me
No,
a
you're not.
question.
No, you're
Would I be
no, you're not.
comfortable with a slut being in the presence of my husband when I'm not there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why are you
Absolutely.
comfortable? Why are you comfortable?
So what?
Why are you comfortable?
What do you mean? Why am
Why
I?
are
Because
you
I'm not.
comfortable?
Because I don't feel threatened by her. I don't feel
And it's not about feeling
no
threatened.
part of my mind
It's
feels
not
like.
about feeling threatened. I didn't say that. I said you could have all the
Can you
trust you
hush?
want in
Can you
him.
hush? Hush.
Come on, man. All caps,
No
bro.
part of
You want
my
me to mute his
mind
mic?
would be concerned about anything going on there. Now, would she try him? She probably would. But I wouldn't be concerned about how he would handle himself in the situation. So you want me to say something else, but I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't be worried about it.
and do you shave your unicorn horn manually, or do you have a machine for that? What
But
grit
in
sandpaper
all
do you
seriousness,
use?
in all seriousness, and I think this is on the topic. This is on the topic. In all seriousness, suppose it was murder. Suppose it was one body count of murder, or two murders, or three murders, or five murders,
Mm.
or 10 murders. You're saying it's a mind thing. So it is mental, but it's not a mind thing. It's not like something you
Mm.
can say, you know, uh, I'm not going to let this bother me. It tells you what type of person it is, and that's exactly what K Woods
Okay,
is
what you
saying.
saying?
The
Yeah.
mindset of the person. It tells you what kind of person it is that you're dealing with. So
Exactly.
it's
Hmm.
not just a mind thing. Now, when he went the story that Ruckus gave, feeling away when somebody walked past, yeah, that's jealousy or envy or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But how does it make you?
No,
How does
no,
it?
no,
How does it
not necessarily. I don't think
no,
that's jealousy or envy. It's
I'm saying,
concern.
well, it's an uncomfortable feeling. What I'm saying
Yeah,
is, it's
yeah.
a feeling. But
Mm.
when you talk about how you assess this
I don't
person and
I
what
don't
type
Mm.
of
think
person do you
murder
regard them
compares
to
to
be, that number, that number makes a difference. So it's not just
with
about,
murder.
yeah, I'm saying if it was just a mind thing, then it wouldn't matter if it's murder or anything else. It wouldn't matter if it's just a mind thing.
It is
It's
a
not
mind
just a
thing
mind
still
thing.
though, because if you didn't know about the murder versus knowing about the murder, still
Right. And
makes it a
once you
mind
find
thing.
out about the murder, then what? You're gonna stay with the person? What are you gonna
Absolutely
do?
not. Absolutely not.
Okay, absolutely not.
But so
So
that's the
it's
point I'm
because
making. Murder does not
no,
compare to juicing. I don't
it's
understand the
because
correlation.
no, it's because well, that's to you. That's your opinion,
I just
right?
said I don't understand. Of course, that's my opinion. Who else's would
Okay,
it
so
be?
I'm explaining now. So that's your opinion. So what I'm
Yes.
saying is that person who is with that person who slept with a lot of people, when they find out, it could
Uh-huh.
be just as impactful to them as if they found out they murdered 20 people. That's their
Hmm.
opinion. So it's
Hmm.
all about how you feel about that person and what your assessment is of that person's character.
Right.
And in
Okay.
most cases, like Dyson said, the female gets the shitty end of the stick. Unfortunately, they do. In some cases, men, but most of the time, it's the women who gets the worst end of the stick. And my proposal for that is just looking at history, looking at how it's always been. The woman's body has been something that has been revered and highly valued. So when you use it and you waste it, or you disregard it, or you don't treat it with respect, then you're looked down upon. It's really that
So,
simple.
so if a female decides that she wants to get intimate and use her vagina the way she chooses, she doesn't have value.
That's not what I said. That's not what I
How
said
do
at
you
all.
define value?
That's not what I said
No,
at
that,
all.
that would actually be a question for Dr. Kent.
That's not what I said at all. What
So
I
what did
said
you
was,
say?
what I said
Dumb it
was
down
like
for
that.
me.
What I said was, like Dyson said, the more
Gaslighting at its
the
finest.
women get and I try to avoid language, but women get the crappy end of the stick with
Yes.
this scenario because
Right.
of society. And what
Yes.
I am saying to you guys is, it's because of history. And if you look throughout history, women's body has all, and their ability to reproduce as the vessel of life has always in every society
Agreed.
been revered as valuable. So if you misuse it, disrespect it, abuse
But
it,
see, it's that right there. What you consider misuse of what someone chooses to do with their body, they may not see that as being misused. They may see it as being used very well.
right? And I make
Why
also,
why
I
was
mean,
prostitutes why was
hold on.
prostitutes back in the
Used
day
very
stoned?
well in what context?
Yeah.
Say it again. I heard two things now, Ruckus and
Go ahead,
JP.
Lucas. Go ahead.
Used very well in what context? Because if she's planning to be a porn star or a lady of the evening, then that's fine.
It's the lady of the evening.
So
That's not fine. Talk to any porn star after
that's
they
why I'm
retire.
saying,
Talk to any
what
porn star after they
context are we
retire.
talking
It's not
about?
fine.
It
It's
does,
not fine at
the
all.
point I'm making is whatever she feels like she wants to do with it. If she feels like that's a value that she wants to do, then that's her prerogative.
I find that
So
Even
we
the
are
so
arguing the
mindset
very
that,
point that I was
oh, she
trying to.
loses value by what she chooses to do with her body
That
is
doesn't make
wild.
that doesn't make it okay because she decided to do it. Because
It
she
doesn't
feels like
it
doing it.
doesn't make it okay to
It doesn't.
who?
Here
To
we are
who?
arguing the exact same point that I was trying to make. Why I brought
Literally,
up the
like it
whole
doesn't
thing
do you
about what
and you
society feels and how society
it
feels about a man
and I
using
wish you
their
Hey,
mhm.
prerogative
if we
and a
could
woman
disregard
using her
how
prerogative.
society feels, let's disregard the whole misogynistic male domination shit. If we're gonna disregard society, let's disregard that shit because that's how some people feel, right? So
And
let's
Mm-hmm.
disregard all of that shit.
why can't a woman do what she wants with her body? So
So
hold on,
some of
Dr.
it
Ken.
must mean
Because
something.
there's
Come
consequences,
on.
Ants. There's consequences.
Some of
Because
it,
there's
I
some
have
of
consequences.
it
an
must
Thank you,
mean
guys.
something.
question.
It
There
can't mean
is
We're
something
not
on
ganging
one
up
there
on
side and
ants.
not mean something on the other side. It have to mean something. So
let,
either society is relevant or it's not. Which one is it?
there
Is
is
it relevant
woman,
or not?
there is man.
Is it relevant
Everything
or
that
not?
you guys are right. There's woman, there is man. Everything that you guys describe are things that men decided for women.
Men did not decide
There
that.
are
We just gave you an example
consequences
of
to
women,
you being a
of two
loose
women.
woman. There are
To what?
consequences.
Pause, everybody.
What's the
Men
Everybody
didn't
take a
decide that.
consequences
That's
pause.
for
not true.
what's the consequences
Everybody
for
take
being
a
a loose woman,
pause.
JP?
Men didn't decide that.
What's the
Men didn't
Everybody,
decide
consequences
that.
for being a loose woman?
hold
Men
on
did
on
not
that.
decide that. Nobody decided that. Men
Dyson
didn't
man,
decide
let him
that.
Time in
answer
the
that.
Society
nice,
decided
man.
that.
Let me mute all y'all mic. All y'all be quiet. Be quiet. You be quiet. All right. Well, Ruckus wasn't saying anything. I'll leave Ruckus mic open. It is known that that is the situation. Society, even women aunts, look at other women and try to diss them when it comes to their body count. So society has this construct. Now, I personally, I agree with you. A woman should be able to do what she wants with her JJ. It's just the same way a man can do whatever he wants to do with his ding-a-ling, right? The what response? This is the question I wanted to ask, and wrapping up. This is the question: what responsibility are men taking when it comes to a woman's high body count? Because she ain't sleeping with herself. Now, let's talk. Let me open these mics back up.
I would say at the end of the day, it does depend on the individual and what they find, acceptable.
Boy, start
You know,
talking.
because there are men who don't necessarily mind a woman with a higher body count,
And they're
and
normally
there
low
are
quality men. And they're normally low quality men. Go ahead, bro.
and by the other way, there are men who value a smaller body count, and they are usually higher value men. I will also say that the same is the other way around,
Thank you.
because a woman may, and it's been at least my observation, a woman may go and sleep with a man with a high body count, but that's not necessarily going to marry. So as much as we try to make differences, I think the same kind of principles still apply for both men and women. And one other thing I'd like to say, if you as a person claims that a high body count isn't important to you, then you've lost all rights to use that as an argument against the person later on because they make you mad.
But the thing is, Ruckus, there are so many people where body counts don't even come up in the conversation.
Facts.
Like, so it may not even ever be an opportunity for that to be used as ammo, because two adults who meet at 40, like, may not even think to say, "Oh, what's your body count?" I mean,
To act like it isn't something that is something to be considered, I think is a
Thank you,
little
Woods.
flippant
but I'm
and
not saying it shouldn't be considered.
Mm.
But I'm just saying, based on what you said about it being used as ammo, some people don't even care to ask that. That's all I'm saying.
Fair
The
enough.
only go ahead, Arthur. Go ahead, Ruckus.
No, I'm just saying, fair enough. For some people it does matter, and for some
Yeah.
people it does. And we may feel as if society is, I don't know, wrong for the way they view things. Be that as it may, the fact still remains that it's there, and no amount of protesting and trying to normalize it is necessarily going to change that.
So what? Again,
Why are you trying to normalize 304 behavior? Like, why are you
Thank
trying
you.
to do that? Why are
And
you
for
trying
those
to
who don't
normalize
know
it?
what 304
What's
is,
the
flip it
purpose?
backwards. That's
What is
not.
the
It's trying to
purpose?
normalize it. That's my point. That's
It
why I
is
brought
all.
this topic
Single
up.
people
This
could do
is.
whatever the hell they
But
want
we
to
ain't
do.
talking about single
This is.
people. I'm talking about people in a relationship. We're not talking about single people.
Oh,
But
Start
but
moving
then
the
they wouldn't be
goalposts.
that's
a hoe.
actually a
They wouldn't be a hoe if
misconception.
they're in a relationship unless
But
they cheat.
that's actually a misconception. No, you cannot do what you feel like doing. You may think you can, and just because you don't suffer the consequences right then and there might lead you to believe that you can. But later on in life, consequences do come, whether you like it or not,
Here's the thing, too,
whether you
right?
agree with it or not.
Let me say something right quick. All of these 304s out here, right? And when I say 304s, flip that backwards. You all know what it is, right?
Hose,
All of
damn it,
these
hose,
304s
hose,
out here, right?
hose,
Hoes, bro. All of these
hose.
hoes out here, right? That feel what they could do, what they want to do with their body. That's fine. That's your body. No one's trying to stop you from doing what you want to do. But here's the thing. When you be jumping from man to man to man to man to man, you can't even pair bond anymore with nobody. You can't even pair bond no more with anybody.
What?
And then
What
So
when
does
it
who
that
comes
says
mean?
time for you to
those?
try,
Who says those
Hans, can
girls
I finish?
even care
Can
to
I
pair
finish?
bond?
Hans, can I finish? Can I finish? Hush. Hush. Shh.
Don't. Oh, please, please. You shut up. You shut up. How about that? Now I'm not gonna let you speak. Like you don't have
Finish,
to either
finish.
mute me or him because he's being
Let me mute your mic.
disrespectful.
I can mute
His
your
wife
mic.
is
I
there
can
with
mute your
him. He
mic.
can tell her to
I can
hush.
mute your mic. I can mute you muted. Go ahead.
There we go. Listen. You
Hurry
hear
up
that?
and talk.
Oh.
Hurry up and talk, man.
Now,
Finish
so
the
look here.
point, man.
You don't have a chance to even pair bond with men anymore. You don't. You cannot run around talking about. I mean, you can, but don't look to us to try to come and save you when you run out of options. That's just what it is. You women want to run around, right? Y'all want to run around and do what y'all
Saved.
want to do. You still talking?
Yeah,
You still
yeah.
talking?
Okay,
That's
I
very
allowed you to make a
complex.
point one. Let's get to the final. Let's get to the final. Let's get to the
Let's get to
final
the final
point.
words.
And my final point, my final question. To get to the final words here.
Disrespect.
how
Shit.
how should and be actually right there. How should we treat women and how should we treat men that have high body counts? How should they be treated? Are they no longer human? Are they no longer deserving of respect? Are they lesser human beings? Because that's what a lot of times I feel as though um, people attack these persons and make them
Like what's
try to
happening
make them
right here.
feel
And I'm not
small.
even one of
Yeah,
these
like what's
persons.
happening right, like what's happening right now. You try to demean their being. So how and the Sup'm show we talk to transformation. We're all about growth and progress and bringing humanity at a higher level of existence. So now tell me, how should we treat people with a higher body count? Whoever want to go first, y'all go ahead.
Let me go first.
Okay,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go on, doctor.
No, I let me get out of the way because I will get out of the way before these two start. Um, so no, but in all seriousness, how should we treat them? The same.
Mhm.
I am a guy who believes that you should not be praised because you bag a bunch of women. I'm one of these weird fellas who believe that. I don't think that's a big deal. I know I may sound like I contradicted myself, but I don't think that's a big deal. I never thought it was a big deal. Now, that's not to say that um, you know, the nasty five plus one. But I'm just saying,
Right.
I'm just saying. I never thought that was a big deal. I never thought that added to me. Let me speak for myself. I never thought that added to who I am or maybe a better person because he had 10 girls and I had 15. Like, it's really not that big a deal. My problem is that we're trying to normalize this and we're trying to turn it into some type of we're breaking free from oppression by allowing our bodies to be free and sleep with who we want. That's garbage. That's absolute garbage. And what we're
Mhm.
doing is we're going against what it always has been, which is the value of the woman's body. The woman's body is
Mhm.
highly valued, highly treasured. It always has been. That's why it's always been protected. It's always protected above the man's body in any situation. It's always been that way. And so, again, when you treat it with disrespect, abuse, neglect, disuse, whatever, maluse, overuse, you degrade the value of it. I believe,
Used.
and I believe that the man's body already is at a lower value than the female's body for the point that one made earlier with the number and the hundred and the one, the sex and the sperm. For that same reason, the woman's body value is much higher than the male's, and that's why if she has a higher body count, she gets the crappy end of the stick because a male's body does not have the same value that a woman's body does. This is just the way it's always been.
Yep.
This is not new.
I can agree with that. All right. So how should we treat people with high body count?
Bro, listen, it's like this, man, because some people in the show getting their feelings a while ago.
Me.
And Big JP don't do feelings. Because it ain't that serious. It never ain't. It never is. Women can do what they want to do with their own body, bro. Either way, I don't care.
I could
The
beat all
thing
y'all up
is,
for picking on ants.
the thing is, right? Don't look to men to save you. Ah, don't look for certain type of men to save you when you all out of options.
You next,
And we
Lance.
all know, women that has high body count, they feel they got infinite amount of options. The options just come every day because they see Sierra do it. 304, you're not Sierra. You understand me? You ain't Sierra. You
Yeah.
ain't Beyonce. You ain't that. You a regular around the way 304. Okay? So
That's not
don't be
okay, man, but
surprised.
let's
Hold
move on.
on. Don't be surprised. What happened, Nats?
No, that was Ruckus.
What was that, Ruckus?
Up. He lost by the JP?
No, I'm
Or he
here.
back?
I'm
Okay,
here.
okay.
So don't be
Go ahead, go ahead.
surprised, man. The thing that you claim is trying to oppress you all so much don't want to save you. Now we ain't talking about every female, of course not. We talking about the ones with high body count. Let's keep it on them. Like Dr. Kent Prasad say, let's not normalize this behavior. We all know you could do what you want to do with your body. No one's saying you can't. The problem is when you run out of options and as you get older and those things don't, those opportunities don't come around again. Now you start to look to those same men who you were just accusing a while ago, trying to oppress you and hold you down to save you. That's what happens. And when I say save you, I'm talking about save you from your multiple baby daddies, save you from your poor decisions, save you from your college loans, all that shit there. Because if you could have done that, you'd have done it already, right? But it's so funny that all these things counts as she gets older, though. When she's younger, she can do whatever the hell she want to do. But when she run out of options, you're running back to the same ones who you claim oppressing you. Straight like that.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
So I get that point. I
Don't
get that
save her.
point.
She don't want to be saved. Don't save. Sorry, my bad.
I like that
What
song.
song that is, bro?
So let
That's
me
J.
give
Cole.
myself the thing. Let me allow what Juan said. I get the point. I heavily get the point, Juan, and I see a lot of value in what you're saying. And of course, on the Sup'm Show, we speak in general, right? So we're generally speaking. We're not speaking specific to any individual. Whoever the shoe fits, wears it. But I
Please,
feel
we got
that
all
the
sizes
same thing
around here,
you
all
say.
sizes.
I get about the magical value of a woman versus the more tree in the wood value of a man. But we're still talking about two human beings here. And I don't feel as though men take enough responsibility for being the aggressor, because we don't have a bunch of people out there taking other people's personal space, right? We're not forcing any woman to go into the sack with us. We allow them to do it of their own free will, but men are often the aggressors in that situation. We asking for it. We are trying to lure the women in and try to get them with spending money and giving them pet names and calling them every day, twice, three times a day until they give up the nookie. And then when they give up the nookie, we kind of reduce the amount of times and the amount of attention we give to them. And then they end up being another person on our list, which we don't feel as though we're going to be held accountable for, as much as now they have an additional body count that they are going to be held accountable for, and then looked at in a certain way. And I want to know if men, and I'm talking about all the real men out there, are we going to take responsibility for protecting our women, like Dr. Ken said, in that manner, by not wasting these gals' time when we know we ain't into nothing. So that's kind of like my final word on
No.
the matter. And then I'll
No.
let
No.
Ruckus speak. No, you could speak to that one. If you
No.
want to speak to that.
Every woman don't deserve provision and protection. Straight up. Go ahead, Ruckus.
I mean, my thing about that is promiscuity really doesn't aid or enhance your life. You know what I'm saying? Yes, single people are free and clear to do whatever they want. And I think Brother JP mentioned earlier, there are consequences for your actions. I see it the same way as someone can drink alcohol as much as they want. They can eat poorly as much as they want. They can take as much drugs or substance abuse as much as they want. They can do all of that. They're perfectly free and clear to do all of that. Nobody's oppressing you from doing that. No one is telling you can't drink the whole bottle of vodka or hit the whole ounce of cocaine or smoke the whole ounce of weed or grind 500 people. Nobody's telling you can't do that. But just like there's consequences to a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker, a heavy drug addict or drug user, there's consequences to having a high body count. You could not like it. You could not agree with it. Whatever. The bottom line is there's consequences to all of that. So to avoid the consequences of heavy eating or bad eating, Dr. Kent, what should we do?
Eat in moderation, healthy, balanced diet.
Bang.
If you don't want to suffer from the consequences of poor drinking, what do?
Drink in moderation.
Bang.
If you don't want to suffer the consequences of drug abuse, what do?
Stay away from drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any
Bang.
questions?
If you don't want to suffer the consequences of being an absolute whore on this road, what do you do?
Let me back this up. Let me
Make
back this up. There's two bangs right
make
there.
better choices. Make better
Be a
choices.
be a
Two
whore in the
bangs.
church.
That's two bangs.
Make
That's
better
two
choices.
bangs.
And
Serious.
and as somebody that's overweight, I can tell you, I have to live with the choices every day of bad eating, and I got
There
to
you
do
go.
something about it, or
Yep.
shut the hell up and deal with the consequences. It's the same thing with people who want to be
Bang.
hoes on this road. You want to be
That's male and
sexually
female, by the
liberated
way.
and free, fine.
You talking about man
There's
and
no
female, by the way.
problems with that. But don't get mad when it's time to suffer the consequences. And that's what I can
Hans,
leave it right there.
Hans, you final words, and then without rebuttal, because I
Hey,
turned
y'all get
everybody
off our
mic
hands,
off.
bro. All right. Listen.
I turn everybody mic off. All y'all mic off now. Go ahead, Hans.
All I
You
know
have the final
is
word.
from
He
the
has the
very
final word.
beginning, from the beginning of this, the first thing I said was I feel two ways on both sides, right? I understand everything that you guys say. I have the same reverence for myself. But at the same time, I have friends who, live a different way. And I'm not judgmental to them. I don't see anything wrong with what they choose to do. So even listening to all of this, it still goes back to exactly what Dyson said. By society standards, women get the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
But hey, and to what Ruckus was saying, have the consequences. Who says those women even care about the consequences?
yeah,
Like, who says that they need to be saved? Who says that they're not well off? Who says that they can't have one man for something? It's something else. One man to do whatever with the car. One man to take care of her sexually. One man to do other things. Not every woman out there is looking to be saved. Some of them are just perfectly fine and content with whatever consequences come from doing whatever they choose to do with their bodies.
Until they can't run the game no more.
Shut up. You had your time. You had
Until they
your
can't run the
time.
game no
and
more.
ladies and
Come on.
gentlemen,
Aren't
this
you a
is
married woman?
episode
So you can't talk for
67
them.
of the Sup'm Show, where we've been discussing body count. And I'll end on this note. And it is simply that, hold on, let's see this comment from K Woods. Thank you, K Woods, for joining us at this episode. We really appreciate your comments. They hurting
Let's get
themselves.
K Wood on
If that's
on
too
the
loud.
show, man. That man right there is very wise. Hey, let's get Sabria on the show too, bro. She got a lot to say. She got lots to say. Let's get on the show.
I'll leave with words from a giant of a man who
Me,
probably had
me,
a very high body count.
me,
Um,
me. Go ahead, Dyson. Quote
goes by the
JP.
name of Ronnie Butler, and he told me this personally. Personally, he said, no pole ever outdo no hole.
Yep.
No pole ever outdo no hole. That's Bahamian
So what
style.
is Aki trying to say? What does that
He's
mean?
saying,
Can you break that down for us?
no matter how strong the pole is or how weak the pole is, no
What
matter
pole? What
how
the pole
no
represent?
no matter what
Doggy,
type
doggy, goddammit, doggy, shit.
no matter if it's copper, gold, metal, iron,
What
whatever,
the hole
wood,
represent, Dyson? What the hole
wood,
represent?
no matter how small, big, deep, narrow, ferocious the hole may be,
Yeah.
or let me say, it will never outdo the hole. The pole
It's
will
like
never
it's like
outdo
throwing a hot dog down
the
a hallway,
hole.
right?
It's like, no. Actually, that's what men would want to believe. But if a woman is interested in you, you could be her millionth partner, and
Yeah.
it'll still feel like it was the first. That's
You better
if
Well, I
she
can tell
into
you
you,
that. Shut up, Mashanko.
because no pole ever outdo. You cannot destroy it. It is
No.
indestructible.
The
It will
indestructible, so
bounce.
it lasts
It'll
forever.
it'll bounce right there and bite your pee off.
Got
So
that
so
adamantium hole.
so,
A
That's why it's so
Wolverine
valuable.
adamantium hole.
and if it were not so,
That's why
then
it's so valuable.
then monogamous couples that have a healthy sexual relationship would get worn out. And let me tell you, the husband would get worn out way before the woman will. In
Yeah.
fact, most men die before their wives.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because
Mm-hmm.
she's built to take more than you could give.
Stop it, Dyson. Stop it. Anyway, y'all.
But I had a joke for that one, but anyway. Leave that
show.
right.
Big JP, Dyson
Yes.
Knight. We got Ants over there in her feelings. Dr. Kent Massad. Rockets Man. Catch us every Sunday, 6:30. Giving our thoughts on numerous amount of topics.
That's
Like I always say, we ain't always right, but we never wrong either.
I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Ruckus, yes.
I hope it ain't the last time. And y'all need to come to my podcast.
Absolutely.
Codename Agents of Chaos. Because you know over there, no holds barred. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like a show for me.
And Sister Anz, I want you come too. I want you come first.
Set it up.
Set it up.
That's what we get. All right. I want everybody to come through so we get out this major conversation. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama.
Peace out.
And on that note, we out.
Y'all stay on.